Hello and welcome to the second interview of Perfeth Engineering First. With me is Mr. Mor Sagmon, an expert from Israel in Excel and technologies that you will hear about. So, hey, welcome Mor to this interview.
Thank you, Anand. I'm very happy and excited to be here and to speak to the Perfeth community.
Thank you so much for coming to this call. And more, we would like to start this interview with a brief introduction about yourself and how did you reach to where you are right now.
Thank you, Anand. Well, I started my way when I was 15 years old. Actually, I started programming for a living. I quit high school and I provided training and projects. I used to train people in technologies that most of the preferred community never even heard of, such as COBOL and BASIC and C and things like that. And later, during my university studies, I graduated computer science with majoring on databases and information systems from the Technion in Israel. I worked in delivering projects, software projects, and I was also excited about understanding the business processes, and translating this into an information system where the users feels at home when they see the information system. So the glue between the business and the technology in information systems world. Later, I became the CIO of an industrial company. Almost 4 years, I built an IT department responsible for everything from the wires in the walls all the way to the enterprise resources management software and the information systems of the company. And then I've worked for 15 years with SAP. SAP is the world's largest business software provider. Yeah. I led some projects with large companies in the United States, such as Chevron and Shell Trading and others. And then I came back to Israel. I undertook some more kind of marketing, business development, managerial kind of roles, such as business development for the public sector. I established SAP Israel, the subsidiary, in where I analyzed the go-to-market strategy of SAP in Israel and the competitive market. And I helped also establish the SAP Research in Israel, in which we did joint projects with academia and industry, usually with public funding, leveraging the EU Commission programs. By the way, I had a chance there to contribute to the Future Internet Enterprise System 2025 document of the EU Commission around enterprise systems in organizations. Now, in the past 6 years or so, I'm self-employed. I started by just doing projects. And as a technology and many of the Perfeth programmers and tech professionals, we have a wide toolbox of all technologies, programming languages and internet technologies and databases and what have you. But I have an extremely unique expertise with Excel as a platform for business applications. So I started doing projects around that. In the beginning, it wasn't that easy, in those websites where you are looking for customers. Before you have your reputation and ratings and reviews, you are competing against thousands of others, and it's very difficult to win projects. So I started my way off very slowly. I remember my first project was a $100 project. I'm not talking about an hour. Okay. This is my rate today, but then it was the whole project, $100. Okay. And yes, and that was for a customer in Portugal. Okay. And after that, I started getting my 5-star ratings and beautiful reviews and started attracting customers. Now, I would say that again, Excel for many people is a technology software, maybe for building sophisticated tables or charts or things like that. The more advanced people, maybe managers in organizations, they even go about and write macros or VBA code and scripts to automate things. But since I grew up in SAP, in the corporate, in the business processes world, in the business information systems world, to me, I look at Excel it's just as if it was another platform for building software, like Java, like Visual Studio of Microsoft or .NET. I can take Excel and I can build robust, mission-critical systems for companies, for large companies around the world. That's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. I'm talking about manufacturing systems, human capital systems, insurance systems, real life mission critical. You know, people come to work and they work on my software as the main thing that they do. If the software goes down, they don't work. Yeah. This is what Excel is for me. Now, I must emphasize that when I teach, I have an online program that we'll soon maybe talk about. Yeah. To me, it's very important that Excel scripting is not just a scripting language to automate Excel. Right. I first and foremost lay the foundation so that people learn to become programmers. So their mindset and their thinking is like software programmers. Right. And VBA is just the tool, is just the, you know, the environment, the vehicle. And I teach people also about internet technologies, about exporting, importing, and integrating your software with existing software in the organization. Integrate your software with existing software the customer already has. Maybe he has a local system that they developed in some technology, maybe an ERP system, a CRM system. Right. And then I teach about how to design the user experience. You know, the workflow, the screen, how is the right design, the choosing of colors, the spreading the controls correctly, the implementation of the business logic behind that. And then I teach about databases. From zero, I teach people what is a database, how does the database work, how do you design an information system as a schema in the database, and I teach SQL from zero to almost all there is to know about. I mean, I'm touching the complex SQL things such as nested queries and you know, how to create a database and how to manipulate the database, how to create very complex queries with joins and subqueries and everything you can think of, maybe in such a way that when you come to a business setting, you should know how to construct the right queries to get answers to almost any business question. And then I teach how to do that from Excel. So a lot of my customers have systems where Excel is the front end, and I have MySQL as the database in the back end. Right. So that gives me, you know, the scalable, robust, unlimited kind of software to do whatever I want. And this is how you can reach a business grade software with Excel VBA. Right. I think this is more or less about myself. Now, as I started doing projects in the last few years to customers, it appeared to me that I can take all of what I gained from the business world and the technology world and the special skills that I have with Excel, and I organize all of that into a program. I designed a program from scratch where people can become also consultants, business grade consultants, even on their own with Excel VBA. And this is the program that I offer in my website, Morsagmoncom. And you can see, even if you go to my blog, you can see it's always a combination. Yeah. Maybe there is a blog about how to do something very sophisticated with Excel VBA, with code snippets, and etc. And another blog post could be about how do you develop your career, or how you as a manager in an organization should choose an ERP system for your organization. Because I believe that when you come and speak as a consultant with managers, you should know their language. You should understand what is a business process. When you speak with a manufacturing manager, he is not interested about your technology toolbox or what you do exactly with Excel or .NET or Java. It doesn't matter. He wants to understand, he wants to feel that you understand his language, you understand his business pain, and therefore talking the business is the very important. So I mixed everything. So I had 4 blog posts a series about ERP for organizations. And I think every programmer needs to also know that if he's working with organizations.
Yeah.
Because this is their language, this is what they expect. And you will only get the trust of the manager if he understands that you understand the business. And when you're
so more interesting that you've been actually talking about now importing training to people for Excel VBA and all. And I think this is one area that is right now going to pick up because Excel has been there for since ages. Can you tell us a little bit about this training program which you actually have mentioned on morsagmoncom, and who are the kind of students and what is the career enhancement these guys can have with the program?
Very well. The program is targeted mainly, I think, in two kind of people. Okay? One type is people who are looking to develop a career for their own as software providers or consultants. I take them all the way up to be a business consultant with Excel VBA.
Okay.
And this is one type of person that it might fit. Another type of person is a manager in any company. Maybe he's a manager in manufacturing, maybe in sales, in financials, in logistics, any field.
Okay.
And he likes Excel. Okay, he's a good Excel user, and he's ready to take the next step and to expand his radar and his toolbox and his capabilities. Okay. So this is good also for these types of people who can learn how to program computers and how to master Excel VBA and take it all the way up. And I will now detail what the course broken into 4 courses. The first course is the foundation. This is where I teach computer programming and Excel VBA. So after the first course already, you can start writing programs with VBA, even complex and large programs. The second course is about the outside world of Excel. So how you integrate with external applications, how do you access the internet? I teach a lot about internet technologies, popular files, how you parse files, JSON, XML, how you do web scraping with Excel VBA.
Right.
How you generate PDF reports, how you and all of that and of course export and import of files, which are the foundation for integration with external applications.
Okay.
Then in the third course is about the user experience. So how do you design the user experience, the screens, and how you program the logic behind the screens for a controlled, robust program.
Right.
And the fourth and last course is about databases. And the first module in this course is everything you need to know about databases in general. This could be a course on its own. So introducing databases and teaching you SQL. Mm-hmm. And then I teach you 2 things with the database. One is how you connect to a MySQL database from your Excel VBA program, such that you can have an information system where Excel is the front end and MySQL is the back end. And another thing that I teach is how you write SQL queries on top of Excel tables. So this is not going out to any database, but looking at all of your Excel tables as if they are tables within a database, and you write SQL queries over Excel tables. And this gives you great advantages. Why? First, you can write complex queries with joins across many Excel tables. And then it's very, very performant, because the engine that takes your SQL statements and translate it into execution is very efficient. So you can have dashboards, rendering very, very fast over a lot of data in your Excel. So this is basically the program that I offer. And actually, in this last week, I finished the recording of the last session in the whole program. So the 3 courses are already out. I have students. I have great feedback on these courses as well. And the fourth and last in program is going to be launched in about 2 weeks or so. I'm working on it as we speak, so to speak.
Nice.
And yes, and as I mentioned, I also, for me, it's very important that my students start tasting the business world. So what I allow everyone on my website to download for free is a business guide that I wrote, 2 guides that start teaching people about the organization, the business in the organization, and how, what is manufacturing, what is sales, all of that part. And another thing that everyone can go on right now and download for free from my website is a package of 105 VBA functions that I developed over the years for my customers, for my business applications. So this is gold. This is gold. I have about 40 to 50 people every day registering, downloading this package alone, because this is gold. Think about it. This is my library that I developed over the years that serve me in the business software that I write.
This is all free, right? This is all free on website.
This is for free. Not only that, I have a Udemy course, a course on Udemy that explains those 105 functions line by line. And think about it, all of my functions and all of my course is directly taken from my business, real life business scenarios. So this is not a school book, kind of, here is the syntax of the statements. This is what the customer needs, and here is the program that adheres to the business requirements.
Right.
This is the power of combining the real life business and projects that I still do today to customers with teaching others to become such consultants.
Very interesting. I'm pretty sure I actually urge all the visitors and viewers of this video to actually go and check morsagmon.com right now and immediately start by downloading the courses. We'll also provide the link of the Udemy course that Mor is mentioning in this video. That will be helpful for understanding these courses. Very, very interesting insight, Mor. I think what we have seen is that in this world, there are a lot of trends that are emerging, and most of the people these days, when they talk about a tech talent or a tech skills, this is one skill that has been left out, having a proficiency in Excel. And even from the business, even from understanding the business leaders' point of view and understanding people who are in business consulting, myself who have been in FMCG for more than 10 years, I think Excel was a daily diet for all of us. And there used to be questions, can I do this, can I do that in an Excel, which we always used to wonder. But I see that a lot of the answers are already there. I see you can go as advanced as even getting into an SQL training with your program, and it actually gets you an entire depth of understanding of how to relate a database with the Excel program, as you were saying, we are creating. I'm pretty sure all the viewers and visitors are going to have a real benefit out of this course, and we are going to definitely advocate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anand. Thank you for having me and the opportunity, and I'm very excited and happy to talk to the Perfeth community, a community of techies like me.
Interesting. Would you like to say any last word to our viewers who are actually interested in just starting off in an Excel training more? What should they start with?
Yeah, well, I would say that start with becoming a programmer. Okay, Excel VBA is yet another platform, another technology. But when you go out and start learning Excel, VBA, coding, think about it that you first want to be a programmer, because this touches the point that you said that Excel wasn't there in the radar of developers. It's not an option that people usually look to. And I have a blog post about that on the history and why that is the situation actually. Excel, you need to remember, it had evolved from an electronic spreadsheet with no coding at all. Actually, the most popular spreadsheet before Excel was Lotus 123. For those of us who are old enough to remember, I wrote programs with the Lotus, and I gave courses on Lotus 123. And so Excel just came about to imitate that. And only later, Microsoft opened up Excel to their libraries, to their code libraries, and they developed the VBA in conjunction with Microsoft Access.
Yeah.
because Microsoft Access had to have some sort of a language to facilitate the information system that you develop there. So
Yes.
VBA was then adopted to the whole Office suite, and that's how Excel was opened up. But Microsoft never targeted Excel to the developers community. They never saw Excel. They saw Excel as yet another Office, the information worker tool, and the more sophisticated workers took Excel to the next level and started scripting. That's why it's not considered in most people's mind as a true platform for developing software. But it is there and it is fully capable. And just last week, Microsoft announced the next generation of the Office suite of Excel 365 with the new scripting language, TypeScript, and it will replace VBA within a few years. And there, it is even more important that you think like a computer programmer,
right,
as opposed to VBA. So that's why I say, get your foundation straight, become a programmer, and you can just take my first course to see how you can get to that level. If you want to get more advanced, then you can choose your courses later, but get the foundation right. And if you get the foundation right, you can attract your customers and become the hotshot in the office where all people come to ask questions, not about just the syntax, but how to solve business problems.
Thank you so much. That was really insightful. And I'm sure to all our readers, this was Mor Sagmon for you. More about him in the links below in the video. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Mor, for coming to this interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Take care and have a good day.
You too.
Bye.